Oh, that sure didn't sound like a good start. Actually, it took me 3 tries. This van never fails to surprise me. So today's plan is going to be finishing the trunk cover, which means quite a bit of work with the router, painting, sanding, all that good stuff, and then finally hooking up the LED lights to test that out. Now it's cold today, so the dampers are still weak, but I've got some replacements ordered, which I think I can pick up tomorrow, so we're gonna get those replaced as well. So these are the things I just picked up. Some flush trim router bit, which will come in handy for routing out all along these edges over here. Got some wood glue, some paint for the wood and metal, and some tape. But first, let's hook up the van battery again, because that really gets on my nerves now. So let's see what we're reading here. Yeah, that's trash, basically. I really don't know what's happening. I think I might try this repair mode, but not too big hopes for that. Now that's a pain, so I think I'm just gonna go at it with 80 grit sandpaper and see if that works. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so I think that's gonna be the tool for the job. It's super small and pretty cheap. It was the only one in this size that I could find. I don't have too high hopes. Also, the cutting edge is not sharp at all. It just has to last for this one job. Really happy with the 2 sides, but unfortunately in the corner it still didn't fit, so I gotta do some hand cutting and sanding. So let's get both corners done, sand everything, and then it's already time to put the first coat of white paint on there. Alright. So I just put another coat of paint on and did some more sanding, and just look how nice it looks. I also did some research about the battery, and I might actually be in luck. Well, not really lucky, but look at the charger as it is right now. So it says it's full, but then it's actually, if there is any reading, yeah, it's at 10.4 volts. And apparently that could mean that one of the 6 cells is dead, because a full battery should be around between 12.5 and 12.8 volts. And with 1 cell missing, that drops to 10.4, 10.5. So one thing we can do now is to turn on the engine and check the voltage. And if it's above 13 volts, that means all the charging from the van works. And it's probably just a battery fault, which means I should be able to get it replaced under warranty. And now this says check the engine, and I did do that in the last episode, and it pretty much showed that the ECM module got the wrong voltage, which makes sense if a cell is defective and it just doesn't get enough volts. I'm not sure if those faults are related, but sure hope so. Alright, let's figure out the voltage. So yeah, it was charging with over 14 volts, and from the alternator there was a current of about 15 amps going into the battery, but it just doesn't take a charge anymore. So I found the receipt. I'm gonna take the battery out of the van and then I'm gonna go replace it. I'm not sure if they'll take it back, but I sure hope so. Now I'm obviously not going to take my van to the shops because it doesn't have a battery anymore. So I got to wait for my mom to come back with her car. So in the meantime, I'm going to prep this side so it's ready for paint as well. Also, I gotta say, I only uploaded the last episode like 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm so happy about all the likes and comments. They really make my day, because from time to time it's really hard to find motivation to film everything. It is fun, but it's so much work. It does really mean a lot to me to see all of you enjoying this content. So thanks a ton for following along, and now back to work. Just got back from the store and that was fantastic service. So I got a new battery and they even extended the warranty. So now I have 3 years again. And originally the battery only cost $90. So yeah, I think that's a win. Also, I wanted to hook it up to the charger so it's nice and full once I install it. And right now it's just around 50%. By now I think we're on the 5th coat of the edge, which was the last one. So now we can seal up the top. So there's a gap all the way along the glass, and I'm gonna use some black Sikaflex to seal it up. So no condensation water is gonna drip behind it and everything can just stay on this waterproof surface. That went really well. But now I gotta wait until the glue isn't sticky anymore before sanding, otherwise it's just gonna be a mess. But I think the car battery should be full, so why don't we put it in the car and see if it runs any better. If it doesn't, then I'm really screwed. Alright, now let's see how it starts. Well, I think that's much better than before. And look at that! Motor control light is off. Now I'd say that's a pretty big win. It's probably gonna take 2 months and then there's something wrong again. At least it makes for some interesting content, I hope. I'm super exhausted now, and I think tomorrow my shoulders are gonna be so sore from all the overhead work. But yeah, that's a problem for tomorrow, and also a problem for tomorrow is gonna be picking up the dampers. So I think we're just gonna cut to that. Got a package, so let's see what's in here. Well, in fact, I think we should know by now what's in here. Looks like there is some damage though. Hopefully they aren't broken or anything. That would suck big time. Because once again, I had to pick this up in Germany. They would deliver to Switzerland, but then you'd pay about $40 for shipping. And yeah, I'd rather not do that. They feel super sturdy and fully made out of metal. So here in the new ones you might be able to see a little blob of grease, so we don't need to grease up the balls. That sounds really bad. My sincere apologies for whatever that was. Alright, so... that's a spoiler. I was just about to say, let's see if they are any better. I don't think they are. They are weaker. How? Maybe they are so crusted up that they're stronger. Don't ask me why I thought it's a good idea to put 9mm of plywood on there. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea anymore. Also, I obviously made sure to order the strongest ones, which should have the same force as the old ones. But yeah, apparently not strong enough. That was the third and final coat of paint. Now before the lights, I want to thank you a lot for watching this far. Leave a like and consider subscribing if you aren't already to join the adventure to the Arctic Circle. And now let's get this build finished. Now before you worry, of course, this strap will be replaced further down the road, but for now it has to do. Now I'm just so happy with how everything ties together and how it looks now. So yeah, another project crossed off, and I guess it's time to do a light check. Pretty cool, but I bet you're wondering what it's gonna look like in the dark. So that's a wrap, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.